Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the outskirts of Montego Bay, going towards the Sangsters International Airport. I'm here with the president and founder of the Paul Bogle Foundation, Constantine Bogle, and also Kez from the Tawahida Monastery. And we are on our way to meet the General Secretary of the Ashanti Worldwide Heritage International Movement. He's scheduled to arrive in Montego Bay at exactly 5:30 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. So this is a piece of history, and the Paul Bogle Foundation wants to share it with the world. It has been a long time since someone of this magnitude have arrived in the country, and especially they're coming courtesy of the Paul Bogle Foundation. So ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the Sangsters International Airport. Yeah, we're here at the Sangsters International Airport, and we're getting ready to meet Kwaku, Adu, Gimiafi, Ampofo. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. It's a beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful day. It actually took us about a little over 2 hours to get in from Kingston into Montego Bay. So just don't touch your dial. We'll be right back with Kwaku, Adu, Gimiafi, Ampofo, General Secretary of the Ashanti International Heritage Worldwide Movement. Don't touch it up. As we await the arrival of Kwaku, Adu, Gimiafi, Ampofo, coming to Jamaica for the very first time and meeting with his brother, Constantine Bogle. It is indeed an honor to see my brother. And the Kez, of course, where's the Kez again? Meet with Kwaku. He gets his blessing. Rasoshing. Man, it is for the very first time that I have an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, in touching a brother from the land of Africa. The Paul Bogle Foundation has done Jamaica proud in bringing one of the greatest Ashanti from the throne to Jamaica. And Kwaku, what is your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Come over here to the camera. What are your thoughts, Kwaku, landing in Jamaica for the very first time in your dream?
So far, I don't know what I can say because I feel home.
You feel home?
Yeah, I feel home. I feel at home. The very moment I landed here, the feeling tells me that no matter what, it's going to be all right. That is the first impression I had. And I've received blessings from the priests, right? The higher priests and brothers around me. I'm welcomed. And I know everything that we are going to do will be successful. It doesn't matter what, the problem will be uprooted and peace will be attained. And not only that, I've come for integration purpose, that we will exchange culture, tradition, and custom. The same thing that is happening within Ashanti will be transferred here, and they will be moving to Ghana, and Ghanaians will be moving here in terms of anything. And I'm very happy that I'm welcome. back into my people.
Constantine Bogle, what are your thoughts having brother Kwaku Adu Ampofo to Jamaica? What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, let me say, welcome, my brother, to Jamaica.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you feel at home. Because when I came to Ghana, that's the same way I felt. I felt at home. So I'm glad that you have that brotherly feeling upon arrival. And this is something greater than Kwaku and I. This is a spiritual movement and a spiritual band that we have now put together through the true and living God. So greater is He that is within us than He that is within the world. So I am telling you that the gates of Africa is open to the gates of Jamaica and the gates of St. Thomas.
Yeah.
And let me bear in mind that Nelson Mandela says when he came to Jamaica, that when you leave the shores of Africa, there is only one place on planet Earth where you find the strength of the black man, and it's Jamaica. My brother, the strength of the black man is in Jamaica. Welcome to the strength of the black man.
And that is true.
Today, the strength of the black man and Africa has joined hand.
What
and
a glorious
it will
day.
be, the rest will be history.
Yes.
Thank you very much for accepting our invitation to come to Jamaica. Welcome home.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Ken, do you have anything to say?
Well, that's what well said.
Yes.
The only thing I can say is what great African. Today among us Africans, we live on our own social.
And as he said, you know, we've been traveling the whole world over to find a place that we can start this movement. That is the Ashanti Heritage Worldwide Movement. The meaning of the movement is the integration. But we are sure that the prophets and the prophetess, they are here in Jamaica. So it's a very great pleasure that I'm here to meet them for the first time, that I'm going to acquaint myself with the prophets and the prophetess. So wherever I will go, I know that the power will come from here into me much more than even what I have. I was in the airplane and I started speaking to this man, that is my brother. That when you see a Jamaican, you see that there is no infiltration in Jamaicans. You see the real black spirits in them. So I'm happy here today. Power. Bless.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What a splendid day this has been for the Paul Bogle Foundation in pulling this almost impossible, but taking my brother Kwaku from the other side of the planet Earth and bringing him to the Jamaican people. So welcome to your home as well.
Thank you.
Just before you close up on our welcoming, I would just like to add that the reason why you feel welcome, remember Ghana was the gateway of our church. And many of our people that came from the west coast of Africa came through those gates. So many of the Ghanaians and Jamaicans, we are one from anciency. We know that, right? This opportunity is now the reconciliation of our ancient spirit, our ancient soul, because what is now needed, all Africans is called out together. And that is what
Exactly.
So my
because
brother,
the prophets from Jamaica have preached it. Africa Unite, theoretically. But now we are practicing it. That's why I'm here. That we do it. We don't only have to speak it, but we have to do it. Because we know, my great grandfathers, most of them are here. Most of them came voluntarily. There was a queen who said, I'm seeing that my people are going to Jamaica. The queen, Jamaica is an Ashanti word, means Jamaica. It means, so we are not going back home again. That is the meaning of Jamaica. So it entails a lot. My presence here is spiritual and physical. And I know the Most High God, who created heaven and earth, will never let our toil be in vain. But we will be sharing together everything as one people. Yes, sir.
One brother. Listen.
I want to say welcome, brother Kwaku, Ashanti,
Yes, sir.
chosen prince.
Yes.
I want to say we Black Power is great for you. And I want to welcome you to Jamaica.
Thank you.
I want you to be very happy with us. We've been struggling so long to become one people. His Majesty has come and tell us you are blood brother. My mother is Ashanti, Ampofo, from Central. I am in the royal bloodline of the Henrys, but I stood up with my black ancestors. And I think we are now about to finish it up. To get African unity one, and we the diaspora one, and become one great family, one son. Blessed is you that has made this. Blessed is my ancestor that keep you alive. Bless and keep you alive.
Thank you. Just turn now and face the camera. Let's just take a look. Let us capture the mountain.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Constantine Bogle meeting with Kwaku, Adubo,
That is why you took the
Ampofo.
stool with you from the king's room. The top.
From Solomon.
Rastafari.
Yeah, we have the throne of Solomon.
You know, as I said,
Yeah, you know it.
very significant.
Yeah, you know the golden stool.
It is
Yeah.
one of the most powerful parts of West Africa. Is
Exactly.
the Ashanti Kingdom. It's time for us to turn our light on. It's time. It's time. The Almighty has declared it.
Yeah, this is the time.
It is the time. It's not going to be anymore.
No. The most I God said this is the time.
Our time has been in captivity. It has been
For
for
far
reason.
too long, but it has a reason.
Yeah, you can go in now.
No,
To the front.
No.
No, sit in the front. You drive in the front so you can see the country. This is your position. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are in Moran Bay, St. Thomas. We're getting ready to go to Stonygut and tour where Paul Bogle actually had his church in Stonygut. We're taking the General Secretary of the Ashanti Heritage Worldwide Movement to Stonygut to see where it all unfolds. So stay tuned. Don't touch it dial. Big Stone will be right back. Click it.
Now I'm standing on the historical ground of Paul Bogle, who was brought here during the time of the slavery, and he stood for his people. And I'm standing right away on the ground where he had his church. He did many things to help his race. But finally, because he rebelled against the white man's rule, he was dead. He was hanged. And more than 1,000 people were killed. 7,000 black people were killed because of the rebellion.
1,000 houses burned.
And 1,000 houses were burnt here because of Paul Bogle. And today we are reviving the spirit, not to fight against anybody. We are not fighting at all, but we are doing this in remembrance of him. That we have to turn a new way of fighting for our rights, of fighting for our life. We are doing this in commemoration of what Paul Bogle did, to ignite and to energize each and every one to know that we have something to do, a work to do. What is the work that we have to do? The work of unity. Some people have laid down their lives for us. They have set exemplary lives for us to emulate. We cannot sit and see what is going on in our lives each day and day out. Therefore, the Poboglo Foundation invited me as a secretary of the Ashanti Heritage Worldwide Movement in Holland to come here. Whatever we are doing here will be sent back to the king himself in Ghana to see the Asante Hene. Otumfo Osetutu Autosumi, you know. Krobe Asante Kotoko, Ukuma Pema, Apembeba. To know that his people in diaspora are looking forward to him. And the request that they have put before me is to disseminate the news that they want to see the king himself here in Jamaica. Because Haile Selassie was here about 50-something years ago, and they believe and they know that when the Ashanti king comes here, it will be a new turn in the lives of the people. This is the request. Upon that, they are also expecting interchange of culture and tradition. It seems people are losing touch. They are walking away from the track of keeping ourselves as we are, and that cannot be. So in terms of naming, marriage, funerals, and other organizational things on the traditional lines, it should be established also here. And I'm here in Jamaica as the first place that Kwaku Adu, Ampofo or Sabarema, Kwaku Adu, I'm starting this year in Jamaica. I'm not the only person doing this. People are doing that. But as far as Ashanti Heritage Worldwide Movement is concerned, Jamaica is the place that I have started this. And I therefore expect each and everyone who will listen to me and watch this video to respect and put it across wherever he is or she will be, that we are one people. Theoretically, we have been hearing about Black unity, Africa unite. If you don't go, you have to come. I have come here. So what are you doing as a black man? The sense of unity should be ignited in you. Paul Boglo did it. Marcus Garvey have done that. Bob Marley have sung the music. Peter Tosh. A lot of people, Jacob Miller. You can talk about many black people who have kept the track. And we can never let it go. In continuation of that, that is why I'm here. I'm standing here with the grandson of Paul Boglo himself. He has the spirit, and he invited me to come here in the name of the foundation. Whoever you see around here has the same spirit. Let us keep it up. Thank you.
This is where the church used to be. The Native Baptist Church.
I want to take the time and read it.
But it was separate from the white Methodist Church. Because after that they started to burn down the churches that were named Methodist but run by black people. We can never forget them.
Teacher Kwaku as he read as he read it. Go behind him and give him a shot at the ball. Yes, Kwaku. Alright, let me explain that. This is where the church used to be. You are now standing on holy ground. This is where Paul Bogle and his men, because Paul Bogle was very rich. One of the things that they never teach about Paul Bogle is that Paul Bogle teach himself to read. And after teaching himself to read, everybody that was coming to Paul Bogle church was mandated to read. Now this was a big problem to the white society because they wanted to teach Paul Bogle to read in the first place. Now Paul Bogle had this friend named George William Gardner, who is a half caste. Mother is a black woman, white man, is his father, Scottish, white man, I think it is his dad, so he's a half caste. He was accepted by the white people because he is an half caste. But he and Paul Bogle became very good friends because both of them had property line and line, and he was a person who encouraged Paul Bogle and get Paul Bogle into the church. He ordained Paul Bogle into the church, so both of them was close. Paul Bogle in turn organized the people to vote for him and get him into the house as an elected person. He was later hung one day before Paul Bogle for the Morant Bay Rebellion. If you read the history book that is written by Clinton V. Black, you will see that prior to them hanging him, he asked for time to put together a letter to his wife, and in the letter, even to the last minute that they were going to hang him, he said he knew nothing about Morant Bay Rebellion, which is true. He did not take responsibility for Morant Bay Rebellion. Paul Bogle, instead, the same day they hung his best friend, William Gardner, was the same day he turned himself in. Now when he was asked, he said George William Gardner had nothing to do with Morant Bay Rebellion, and he take full responsibility, and both of them was hung 24 hours apart. We will be going to the place where Paul Bogle and George William Gardner was hung, and many more. But before we go there, there is still some additional information that you need to know. This is where the church used to be. This is where they would sit down and plan as a small community. The 10th of October, they had a prayer vigil here for the entire night. They pray and light candles, and the parliament was having a meeting in Morant Bay. We're going there shortly, and this is after several trying to get an audience with the governor. He went to Spanish Town. Spanish Town was the first capital for Jamaica, and he went to Spanish Town to meet, to try and have an audience with the governor, because the people were suffering. They did not have access to land, and there wasn't anything else to do away from farming. There was no such thing as factory. There was no health system here, no school, no nothing at all.
St. Thomas.
Yes, the people were just brutalized. When they wrote to the Queen replied and said, "It is upon your own initiative These are documents that exist. I am telling you about the letter, the famous Queen letter. It is upon your own initiative that you must find a way to survive. I don't business with any of you. And that's what led to Mark the Rebellion. Paul Bogle is the only hero in Jamaica that fought a war for land so that black people can have access to land. So when they went down to, after the all night vigil, and they went down to Mark Bay, it's called a vestry meeting. 29 white men was meeting. All of them was English white men that was sent from England as a representative of this country. And Paul Bogle and his men killed all 29 of them. Beheaded all 29, include the Costas. Right? As a result of that, they sent back 2 ships into the parish. One named Wolverine and one named Axel. And they deployed soldiers from in the hills and soldiers from the seafront. And they wiped this parish out, burning 1,000 houses to the ground and killing over 7,000 people. People who had nothing to do with Mark the Rebellion. Pregnant women, they cut them in 2, chop them in 2 and fling out the baby out of them. And the whole thing was just a massacre on the parish because of what Paul Bogle and his men did. Now, bear in mind, and this is what is important, Paul Bogle was a very, very rich man. Paul Bogle could have sit back and said, you know what, I don't business with you because I am wealthy. Because he had cow, land, goat, horse, mule, you name it. He had it all. He had a bakery. He was baking and selling to the community and making money. He had money. He had his church. He was very wealthy. So he gave up his life for his people and his wealth. Now, what did we get in return? It was taught in school in this country that the people in St. Thomas until this day is a criminal. They are recognized by the Queen of England as a set of criminals because who dare them to rise up and fight against the oppressors that was here flagging the people and killing the people. Who dare them to rise up? But when you go in the history book and you read, it is as a result of Morant Bay Rebellion why black people can own land, not just in Jamaica, no, but throughout the colonies. The colonies. It is as a result of Morant Bay Rebellion that the Queen had to change the laws in every colony. Hot tax in Africa had to move because they became fearful that people having heard what Paul Bogle did, they were going to emulate them. Yes. And that is how politics was introduced to Jamaica, because they had to find a different way of governing. The creation and implementation of the police force is as a result of Paul Bogle. Health department came about. Road came about as a result of Paul Bogle. It is called a new Jamaica take shape. Yet, independence came about. The migration came about as a result of Morant Bay Rebellion. Right? And